Here is an application test question from Quadratic Equations, IBSL grade 10. I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In this video, we'll discuss another very important question based on quadratic equations. I have taken this from my students' test paper. Most students could not get this question right. So it is important to understand how do we solve such questions. The question here is, the length of a rectangular plot of land is 7 meters greater than its width. The diagonal is 8 meters greater than the width of the plot of land. What are the dimensions of the plot of land? Now, to answer such questions, you should first make a figure to understand what exactly is required. So let's make a rectangular plot first. And then reread the question. The length of a rectangular plot of land is 7 meters greater than its width. So, if the width is, let's say, W, then the length is W plus 7. Make sense? The diagonal is 8 meters greater than the width. So, the diagonal, which I am now constructing, is W plus 8. What are the dimensions of the plot of the land? So once you make this diagram, it is a very simple question. You can apply the Pythagorean theorem, solve for W, and get your answer. Perfect. So now I think it is not very difficult. You can pause the video and answer the question. Well, in case you want to learn from me, you can always send an email on the address given. Most of my students are getting excellent marks. Some are getting awards and scholarships, like Akshat.
After attending university. The winner of this year's Certificate of Achievement Schulich Leader Award is anil.anilkhandelwal.
Great. Our student Akshat gets highest marks and the most prestigious Schulich Leader Award. You can be there. Join our classes and excel. Now let us see how do we solve it using Pythagorean theorem. So as you can see, we have a right triangle right there. So we can apply the Pythagorean theorem. It's a direct application. So that means squares of the smaller sides, add them up to get the square of the longer side. So we can write down W plus D whole square is equal to W square plus W plus 7 whole square, where W is the width of the rectangle, correct? So you need to define the variables just as I explained. Let W be the width, right? So you should write here, let width be W. You can always include the units in meters. Perfect. Now let's expand this and figure out the solution. We get W square plus 2 times 8 being 16, 16W plus 8 square, which is 64. We get W square plus, now expand the other factor, plus 14 W plus 7 square is 49, correct? So we applied the formula, which is A plus B whole square, and that is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square, right? So you should remember the formula also correctly. Now we can bring all these W's on one side and then it becomes a quadratic equation to be solved. Perfect. So we have two W's here. So rather I'll just cancel this with this, simplify it, right? So we'll take these terms on the left hand side and we have W square now on the left hand side. 14 W plus 49. Take away 16W and take away 64. So we have W square plus 14W minus 16 gives you 2 with a negative sign, and adding 49 to 64 will give you what? So 64 minus 49. So 14 take away this will be 5, and then this gives you 15. So we have a quadratic equation, W square minus 2W minus 15. Now this can be factored. Product being 5 times 3, greater number negative, right? So we get W minus 3 minus bigger number is 5 and W plus 3, correct? Now if this factor is 0, it implies that W is equal to 5, right? You should remember that this is the only solution since W has to be greater than 0. It cannot be negative 3. So the dimension should be what? So we get our answer from here, and that is width W equals to 5, and therefore the other dimensions are what? So we have 5 plus 7, which is 12, right? And 5 plus 8, which is 13. So 5, let's include units when we write the answer, right? So width is 5 meters, and then the length is 12 meters, and diagonal is 13 meters. Perfect. So that is how we are going to solve this particular question. I just squeezed in the solution in this very limited space, but I hope you understand what we have done here. So basically, reading from the question, make a rectangle. All the information provided should be translated. Define your variable first. We define W as the width, W plus 7, 7 more than width, and W plus 8, 8 more than width is the diagonal. Related them with the Pythagorean theorem. Open these brackets using the formula a plus b whole square equals to a square plus 2ab plus b squared, and then brought all the terms to one side, simplified, factored the relating quadratic equation to find answer. So W equals to minus 3 was an extraneous root, right? Remember that part. So it was an extraneous root. Only solution was for width of W. Now add those numbers 7 and 8 to get the other side and the diagonal respectively. I hope it makes sense. Perfect. So that is how you should be solving this particular question. Feel free to write your comments and your suggestions. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. And in case you want to learn from me, that'd be even better. So with that, we were discussing this test paper. We have now solved another application question, which is good for us. Perfect. So that is question number 7. Look for the solution of the others in this particular playlist. Thank you and all the best.